Good morning. We will pay attention to bad debts today. When a person is insolvent and the business received a final payment of 20 cents in the rand, so they will not receive the total amount that's outstanding. For each rand that she owes, the business will only receive 20 cents. They give us the outstanding debt as 500 and the rest of the amount must be written off. The total debt is 100%. We only receive 20% of that debt, and the bad debt will be 80% of the total debt. They gave us the outstanding amount, so the total debt equals 500 Rand. If we want to calculate the amount received, the percentage that we want, 20, divide by the percentage that we know, 100, times 500, and that will give me 100 Rand. The bad debts, the percentage that we want to know, divide by the percentage that was given to us, and that will give us 400 Rand. The debtors have a debit balance because assets increase on the debit side and the balances are always on the debit side. We will decrease the debtors with the amount paid, 100, and with the bad debt so that you can close the account when they are written off. The bank account will be debited with 100 because the money in the bank increased, and bad debts will be debited because the expenses increase on the debit side. In the second example, they give us the amount received as 500. It is still a payment of 20 cents in the rand. So the debt is 100%. The amount received is 20%, and the bad debts is still 80%. In the first example, they gave us the total debt, and you would write next to 100% the amount. In this case, they tell us that the amount that we receive is 500, so that equals the 20% that we receive. If we want to calculate the bad debts, the one that we want, divide by the one that was given to us, the 20, times the 500, and that will give us 2,000 Rand. So the debtors will have a debit balance because the debtors increase on the debit side. We will credit the debtors with the total amount, so we will reduce them with the money received and the bad debt so that the account can be closed off. The bank account is debited with the money received, 500, and the bad debts expense increase on the debit side with a 2,000. So you can see you have to read very carefully whether the amount received is given or whether the total debt is given, because depending on the information given, the calculation is done in different ways. Before you do the calculation, you must always determine whether they give you the total debt or whether they give you the amount received to ensure that you use the correct calculation. A double entry must be completed for the amount received, and a double entry must be completed for the bad debts written off.